The topic we are going to discuss now is how to secure your web applications. So over here I created two directories, admin and manager. Now the requirement I want is only a person with an admin role can access the resources within this folder, and only a person with manager role should access resources within this folder. So for doing this, we are going to follow this procedure. So over here, first of all, in the database, we are going to create tables for storing user as well as group information. Then we are going to configure realms on the Java EE server. Later on, we'll specify some configuration files. And after that, we'll create two pages, one for the user to log in and another one for showing the error information if the login is incorrect. So let's start by creating tables for storing user and groups. So over here, right click, select create table, and let the table name be user table. Let the column name be user name, and the type is varchar, and let it be 45. The another column we'll have is password, and the type is varchar, and let's make this non-null too, and let's apply. So only the username column is the primary key and both are not null. Let's create another table for storing group information. So over here, select create table, let the table name be group table, and let the column name be group name. The type is varchar 45, and another column we want is username, which is again varchar 45, and let this be primary key too. So there is a compound primary key of group name and username. So let's apply. Now the username column is also going to serve as foreign key in this table for the primary key mentioned over here. So let's specify that. So over here, go to foreign keys tab and let's specify a foreign key name, group table underscore user table underscore fk, and let's reference the table. The table name is user table. Oops, sorry. Table name is user table, and let's select username, and the reference column is username. This site belongs to this table, group table, and username belongs to user table. Let's apply. So let's close this off first and let's enter some sample information. So over here, let's open this table, user table, edit table data, and let's enter some names. First I'll enter my name, Ashit Raj. Let the password be same as the username so that we don't get confused later on. Ashit Raj, and let's enter some other names. Raj, maybe Sam, then John, Rohan. Let's apply. Finish. Let's now enter information in the group table. So over here, select this, edit table data, and let the group name be, we want to have two group names, admin and manager. So first user in that group is Ashit Raj, that is me, and let's have another person in that group, Raj. Let's have another group name, manager, and maybe Simon is that group, manager, John, and let's put the last user, which is Rohan. Let's apply. So we have created tables and entered some sample information. Let's now configure realms. So go to NetBeans first and let's go to Services tab, right click on Glassfish server and select View Domain Admin Console. So this is the GUI admin console. So over here, if you expand JDBC resources, what we have is JDBC/ZooDB. This was configured when we are doing the chapter on JPA. So let's use this. So go to server config and let's select security, select realms, click on this. Let me delete this. I created this for trial, so let me delete this off first and click on this. Let's create new, and over here let's enter the name for the realm, Zoo realm. From the drop down menu, select JDBC realm, and over here let's specify JDBC realm, and over here JNDA name of the data source is JDBC/ZooDB, JDBC/ZooDB, And over here the user table name is user table, right? In the database the table name is user table, the username column is username, and password column is password, and group table name is group table, the group name column is group name. And since we are not storing password in encrypted form or not hashing it, that's why we'll mention none over here for digest algorithm. If you see over here, the passwords are not encrypted or not hashed, so that's why we mention none. So let's save this, let's click OK for this, and over here if you see the Zoo realm has been configured. So next thing we have to do is create a Glassfish web XML file. So this is a server specific file. So over here let's go to IDE, and over here right click on WebINF, new, and go to other, select Glassfish over here, and let's select Glassfish descriptor, next, and click finish. The name of the file is specific to the server. Since we are using Glassfish, the file name is glassfishweb.xml. If we are using any other server, the name will differ. So over here, let's go to XML tab, and I'm going to paste something over here. So I've added two security role mappings over here. What I'm saying is a group name of manager which we just configured in the database is going to match the role name of manager of our application. And similarly over here, we are not interested in changing the group name and the role name. We want them to be similar. Instead of this, you can have different names. If in your application you want a different role name for this group, we can mention that over here. Instead of this, we could have entered the information from the screen over here from the security tab. So for admin, the role assigned or the group assigned is admin, and for manager the group assigned is manager. So what we have done till now is we created tables for storing the user and group information, we created or configured a realm, and we also configured a special configuration file that is a specific server specific configuration file which is glassfish web.xml. Let's now configure the main configuration file which is web.xml. So over here let's open this first. So in the web configuration file, which is your main configuration file, you have to specify three important things. So let's do that. So go to the security tab, and these are the three things: login configuration, security rules, and security constraints. So let's add some roles over here. Let's add the role of admin first. Let's add another role which is manager, and let's click OK. And if you see what's added over here, two security roles have been added, admin and manager. So before doing the next configuration, which is login configuration, let me show you two files which I have created. So over here there's login.html and there's error.html. So in login.html there is a simple HTML form. Notice this is not a JSF form, it's the HTML form with a method of post, and action is mentioned as j_security_check, and username field is mentioned as j_username, password is mentioned as j_password. So you can't use different names for your fields as well as for the action methods. You have to use the standard names mentioned over here. So let's go to web.xml file, and over here let's specify, let's select form authentication, and form login page is login.html. Let's select this, and for error page let's select error.html. An error page just has some error information as well as a link to go back to the login page. And over here let's specify the realm name is Zoo realm. If you remember, this was the name which we configured on our Java EE server. So let me minimize this and minimize this, and let's look at what's been written for us. So over here if you see, there's a login config, and the authentication method is form, the realm name is Zoo realm, and the login page is mentioned as well as the error page in the form login config element. The last thing we are going to do in web.xml file is add some security constraints. The constraint we want to add is only the user in role of admin can access this folder, and only the user in the role of manager can access this folder. So let's add those security constraints. So let's add a constraint. Let the name be anything. Let's add over here the resource name is admin folder. We can give any name over here, and let's select that pattern, admin star. What this means is everything within the admin folder can be accessed only by admin user. So let's select this, and over here let's select a user enable authentication constraint, and the role name we want to select is admin. So what this means is only admin can access this folder over here. And let's add a new constraint. Let's add a new constraint. Now over here, let's add the resource name is manager folder, and the pattern is manager star. Let's click OK, and let's add a role. Select manager, select add, and let me minimize this, and let's go to the source. So let's analyze what has been written. So over here there are two security constraints. The first security constraint says that everything within the admin folder can only be accessed by admin role, and everything within the manager folder or manager directory can be accessed only by manager role. So as mentioned previously, we had to do three things in web.xml file. The first one was having some security roles. The second thing was having a login config element which says what authentication method we are using, as well as which realm is you going to authenticate the user. And the third thing is the login and error pages. And third element in web.xml we have to specify is security constraints. So security constraints, login config, and security roles are the three things we have to do in web.xml file. So let's run this application. Right click, select run. So let's try to access the admin folder. So over here, let's specify admin and press enter. And as you can see, we are redirected to the login page. So let's enter some login information for admins. So over here, I'll type my name, Ashit Raj. The password is same, Ashit Raj. And let's press enter or login. And as you can see, we have gone to the admin page, which is over here in the admin folder, index.html. Similarly, let's try to access something from the manager folder over here. So over here, let me clear the history first. Clear history, clear now, and let's specify manager over here. Manager. And again, you're redirected to the login page. So let's specify some manager role, Sam, and you're redirected to the manager page.